feel like we're some sort of metal boy zone sat here. Sorry.
Metal boy zone.
Is that Boss's new pedal?
That's right.
Mate, that was just there. That was too easy. Right, let's start then, shall we? Okay. This first question is from Drobus Wilhelm Vesper. Yes, that.
Of course.
Yeah. What album was in the back of your mind that influenced the mixing and the production?
For me, it was Lateralis by Tool. Really big, punchy drums. I always had that idea of sound.
Yeah, the Tool.
Well, I'd say our last one actually.
Right.
There were things that I wanted to change and improve from the last one, so I thought.
So your inspiration was what we'd done before?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'd been listening to way too much Elder. But actually, I'm not sure that's possible.
Yeah,
but,
I was going to say.
But yeah, I've been listening to loads of Elder, and I just I love the way that they keep evolving.
Yeah,
keep listening to their records.
Especially their new one.
Yeah, the new EP is ridiculous, man. It's just like they went, fuck it, we're going to do whatever we want. So yeah, I think Elder were a pretty big influence on that one for me. Do you want to read a question?
Yeah. This one's from Gary Acton. Writer's block. Ever been a problem?
What do you think?
I think because of the way that we write, whenever an idea isn't progressing, we kind of just move on and then come back to it later. So it's never really been like a barrier. It's just been, we need to step away from this for a bit and then move on. That's what I've always felt like when we're writing.
I don't know about you guys, but if you've come up with an idea and you say we'll practice it next practice, I kind of half want to know what's going on before we get there. Otherwise, I feel like a complete prat.
Yeah.
When you guys are like jamming away and I'm like, you know what, I've got nothing.
It is easier for rhythm sections though, man, and especially because I'm originally a bass player. I'm just like, give me a drummer and I'll get a groove.
B-word.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's right. That'll come up later. Don't worry. But I mean, for me, I always think that even the concept of writer's block is interesting for me because obviously it suggests the fact that you are trying to write something and you are unable to do it. Whereas I think, and I used to think that I got writer's block until I realised that no, I'm just not ready to write right now. And when I do have a moment, because I always say that thing I always say to you guys all the time is like, oh, I'm having a writing spell at the moment.
Sure.
And so it's basically, there will be times when I'll just write loads of stuff and there'll be times when I just don't. And I guess it's, I've recognised now not to try and write when it's just not happening. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess that's what people would call writer's block.
Yeah.
Like, but I just don't even try. I'm like, if I pick up my guitar and nothing comes out, I'm like, no, I'm just obviously not in that place.
Yeah.
Whereas when because I know when I am in that place, I pick up my guitar and stuff just comes out straight away, and it's like I'm not even trying to do it. Yeah, exactly. Very juicy. So I don't. It sounds weird, but I don't think I really experience writer's block. I just have definite moments when I'm in a writing mode, and definite moments when I'm not, and I don't try and force either. Just go with the flow, you know.
Yeah.
So, all good. That's a good question.
Well then, right. Mark Laley says, what were your influences leading to this album before you started writing it?
It's kind of similar to what album was in the back of your mind, I suppose, but yeah.
That's more creativity though.
Oh yeah, that's production. Yeah, okay. Influences.
Rage Against the Machine quite a lot, I think. Especially with like Death of All, you know. Like, coming more from like a funk, like more of a groovy type of background.
Which is really natural for you, isn't it? Yeah. And actually, like, kind of, you brought out, I used to play a lot of funk and then sort of stopped because that wasn't really a style that Westy kind of like acclimated with. Whereas now, since I've been playing with you a lot more, it's brought a lot of that back, a lot of sitting in the pocket a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
we jam a lot more.
Exactly. Which is kind of what you were talking about as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What really influences is when we're in the van going to gigs and the stereo's on. What do we normally listen to?
Free,
War of the Worlds.
Definitely.
Elder, Witch Hound, new Witch Hound album.
Yeah, that was really good.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I do. I mean, I think that the difficult thing you always have when you're about to write a new album as well, and it's this fine line with influence, is that you can listen to something so much
Yeah.
that you start to absorb it at a time when you're writing, and you'll sit down and you go, I just wrote this awesome riff, and then you're like, oh, it's Elder.
Yeah.
Shit. Because you've absorbed it without really thinking, and then you just basically wrote their riff again. So you kind of have to. I think sometimes it's better to sort of, like, I always go back to stuff like Free, just because in a weird kind of way we learn from experience that we aren't Free and we can't write exactly like Free, but something about listening to Free. There's just something about their music that they make.
It kind of puts us in the zone, doesn't it?
Yeah, yes. and there's something effortless about their music that I'm always trying to get. So it's not even like kind of about genre or notes. It's about that effortless feel that they have in their music, where they just feel like there's just like.
And I guess like we do that with writing, and it kind of comes back to the writer's block thing as well. Like, you know, when we're writing, we always have that. Like, does it make us go, whoa?
Yeah.
If it ends up being too difficult to actually get an idea out there, then maybe it's not the right idea. That sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. The bullshit filter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Should I go next?
Go on then.
Okay, Ian Hall, with 2 songs featuring Sian. Did you write them first and then realise that she would be perfect guest vocalist for them, or were they written with her in mind? So I guess this is about Legend of the Five Suns and Deepest Roots, although she did also sing a little bit of backing on Woe Betide. But that was more sort of that random idea that you dropped in her in the studio. Can you go, ooh? Okay. But yeah, I mean, Deepest Roots was wrote around the same time that most of the new album stuff was written, and I wrote that as this sort of, it was when I was really starting to form the Forest ideas around it, and it was a driving factor in that. And I never even knew it was going to go on the album, to be honest with you, because at that stage it's so different from our style. It's so chord based. Because I remember playing it to you once, and you were kind of, it's cool, but it doesn't really sound like us. Do you remember? And it was because we were thinking about turning it into a band song, weren't we? Like kind of with big guitars,
riffing it up.
Yeah. And it just it can't do that. It's not that kind of song. And so it was sort of not on the back burner, but there. And that's a similar thing to Legend of the Five Suns, because I think I told you that I keep all those phone recordings when I first think of ideas for songs, and I found the original phone recording that I made when I first had the idea for Legend of the Five Suns, and it was 2015.
Wow.
Yes, so that means that I started writing Legend of the Five Suns before These Paths We Tread, and I think I remember it was almost going to go on These Paths We Tread, and then it didn't quite turn it into a song, and again probably for the same reasons of like kind of because it was so acousticy. It was like at that time, I mean obviously we know now after having released this new album that we can do acoustic, but back then we were like, we're not sure we can do that.
Yeah.
Not sure the people would like it, not sure we like it, not sure we know how to approach it. And so I would say that, that's a bit of a long answer, but I would say that like both of the songs were written before I had Sian in mind, and then I kind of got to know Sian and listened to Aluna and heard her sing, and just something clicked in my mind one day, and I asked her if she wanted to do guest vocals on it, and then it's just incredible. It's just like, I mean, I think it's one of your guys' favourite songs on the album, isn't it? Like Legend of the Five Suns.
We're not even on it.
Brilliant. But it's really interesting because it's, I think when that came together, before any even intense mixing was done on that, when me and Sian were in recording in the studio, so it was just me, Ian and Sian, you guys weren't even there, I could sense that some magic was happening, just like actually there in the studio. And when we tend to do the songs, it's very much, you get this like, oh, we'll build it up, you know, we'll put the drums on, put the guitars on, whereas as soon as Sian started singing that, I got like chills, and I was just like, shit, this is going to be a really fucking good song, you know. And then it was almost in the mix, it was like, don't ruin it. You know, because it was like, you know, when you know something's already really good, it's like, because it's so easy in mixing to actually ruin things. But yeah, that's cool.
Right, hang on, I'm fucking melting. Right,
melting. Oh, some tea.
Coffee break.
Coffee break.
Have a bit of a swig. It's all that talking.